Playgoers, I bid you welcome. The theater is a temple. We are here tonight to worship the gods of comedy and tragedy and to honor the three guys. Tonight we shall employ every device we know, both of them, in our desire to honor them. Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone and honoring tonight. Something appealing, something appalling, something for everyone and honoring tonight.
Nothing that's sad, nothing that's blue, mountain that's deep, we're all here for you. Old theater classics, new Broadway smash hits, workshops and concerts to excite. Outing tomorrow, cutting edge tonight.
Something convulsive,
Something repulsive,
something for everyone and honoring tonight.
Someone that's brilliant, someone Canadian, something for everyone and honoring tonight. Two plays for laughs. Malnourished the cow. Stevie might hate it, but he's here now.
three fearless leaders, two awesome theaters.
One celebration of delight. Sentiment tomorrow.
Roasting tonight. And now, the entire company. Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone and honoring tonight.
Weston so naughty. Weston so naughty. Weston for everyone and honoring tonight. Nothing that's real, nothing that's free.
Steve signing paychecks later this week.
Stunning surprises, cunning disguises. We're here to thank these three guys.
With overalls and cow suits,
Stunning Vermont roots.
fudges and cheeses,
Warm summer breezes.
waterfalls,
Places called
Timidity,
stupidity. Mistakes, breaks, snowballs.
tumblers, 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 tumblers.
No Trojan horse. Happy ending of course. This and that is 30-year madness. Let it all die. I'll cry tomorrow. Celebrate tonight. 1, 2, 3.
Once upon a time, in a far-off land called Weston, Vermont, during the last days of Walter Bowden's reign as producing director, and with Walter's health failing, desperation set in. The esteemed members of the Weston Community Club put out a county-wide search for new leadership. Well, it was more like a village-wide search. After minutes and minutes of agonizing deliberation, they finally settled on Steve Stettler, Tim Ford, and Malcolm Ewan. Three fresh-faced, eager youths known as the Boys. Eventually, when their faces weren't so fresh, they became known as the Three Guys. The boys had already worked under Walter's titular tutelage for many years, acting, directing, musical directing, cabareting, while they were still wet behind the ears. Steve Stetler. The young son of a well-respected and prominent Pennsylvania Presbyterian minister. It was the peas. I was working with the peas. Melancholy, marvelous Methodist minister. Steve was the serious one of the three, and at a very early age took a sacred vow of celibacy. Tim Ford, a scholarly professor who to this day refuses to speak in complete sentences. Tim eventually came to embrace all things Canadian, including his wife. Malcolm Ewan. Now say, what the hell's he gonna say? Malcolm Ewan, a gruff, tough, and rough Midwesterner with a soft underbelly who always wore his heart on his sleeve. Mal would later go on to be an usher at my wedding, where I promptly had him usher Tim and Steve out the door. Thank you. Little known facts about the Three Guys. Number one, Steve Stetler does not hate the cabaret. He's embarrassed by it. He doesn't hate it. Number two, Tim Ford is a really smart guy. I know, who knew? Number three, if you want to hear Malcolm tell one of his wonderful stories about his many wonderful experiences on Broadway, just ask him. And he'll tell you. And then he'll tell you again. And then he'll tell you again. And then he'll tell you a couple, 2, 3 more times. Early on in their partnership, they agreed to do all things together. For example, all three have battled cancer. First Tim, then Steve, and then, not to be outdone, Malcolm took an entire year off to battle his cancer. All three, I might add, battled it gracefully and successfully. Thank God. I joke, we joke, there's a lot more of that to come. But I know that I speak for many of us who have worked here over the past 30 years when I say that your passion and your commitment to this little playhouse that could has inspired countless young artists who have experienced Weston's magic and carry it in their hearts. Tonight, we honor, we thank, and we lovingly roast our boys so that they can fully understand the impact they have had on the lives of the people in this room and well beyond it. Please welcome to the stage two of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Amelia White and Jeffrey Wade.
What a great celebration, isn't it, Dawn?
Yeah, look at all these lovely faces. So great to see you. And these guys have been here for such a long time.
I know, and I remember everything about it.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been coming here?
17 years.
Sweetheart, you first came in the 70s, didn't you?
That's right. I first met these guys in 1973.
72. And you already knew Mal and Tim from Amherst College.
That's right, that's right. I remember that. Get this, in 73, Steve Stetler played Don Quixote.
Darling, that was you. Steve was a muleteer.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
right.
and it was many years later when I first started coming here.
So great. We were newlyweds.
Oh, 14 years.
Yeah. Walter was still running the place.
Oh, darling, it was all theirs by then.
Oh, that's right. I
You've been regaling me with tales of this brigadoon-like place set in an emerald paradise. It was going to be our future artistic home. I couldn't wait to come and find out what you
Oh, yes, yes, and in the very first year of their stewardship.
Second.
That's right. They cast us in a show together. Now that I remember as if it was yesterday. 'Twas 88.
It was 89.
The Music Man.
No, Sondheim.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. Bonanno sang.
He grabbed my ass.
Can't help himself.
That boy, he's crass.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. Those brainy notes from Steve.
Yes, and Mal could talk all night. Tim, we'd never see.
That's right, that's right.
It warms my heart to know that you remember still the way I do.
Ah, yes, I remember it well. How often I've thought of that Monday night when we did our first Weston show, and wonder if you might have fun just like me, recalling that time long ago. That lovely scent.
The endless tech, the curtains jammed when Mal said,
Oh,
"Fire!"
yes, I remember it well.
That cabaret,
The mindless fun.
the midnight call.
If you had a gun.
Yes, yes, I remember that well.
These guys gave us a home.
Of love and art and craft.
Will it go away?
No, that's daft. Look what they've built, this magic place.
Their heart lives on, it lends us grace.
Ah,
Yes, we'll remember them well.
Our next performer has been here for so many seasons, done so many main stage shows and so many cabarets, that she is the Weston Playhouse.
Good shows and bum shows, I've seen them all, and my dear, I'm still here. Flash floods and fires, so much Vermont cheese and beer, and I'm here. Downstairs there's bad jokes sung by cows. Truly though, aren't you kinda sick of cows? Seen Tim Ford's hair disappear. Yeah, I'm here. I've watched the bandstand feel lonely outside through the day, while in here, so many humans, $3 a week is their pay, but they stay. I've witnessed misflies by the best, watched wild new scores I put to test. In the Depression, was I depressed? Nowhere near. I had Lloyd Bridges that year. Yeah, I'm here. Stettler and you and Gee, what you brought to my stage. I love ya, Ford Stettler and you
In 2010, we were lucky enough to win the Weston New Musical Award, and in 2011, our show became the first world premiere musical on the main stage, St. X. We like to joke that whenever we come to Weston, we bring really bad weather, so we're responsible for the Noah's Ark flood that you all drove through today to get here. I don't know if any of you hit that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. We wrote this song for Mal, Tim, and Steve. It's a little goodbye. It's called Why We Love You. Are you ready?
Almost.
Do you ever notice how you always have to wait for the guitarist? I have to like work on my pattern because it's like constantly about waiting for the guitarist now.
You tell me I'm working.
Ready? Okay. Here goes. You might recognize the beginning. For your farewell, fellas, we wrote a little song. We've got notes here for you, fellas. It won't take long. After 4 decades and endless applause, your post-accolade moving on from the cause. On the evening of your last strike, it's our turn to take the gold mic and say exactly what we want to say to you. You did it, so says the New York Times. With the budget counted out in dimes, Mountain and Steve, we can hardly believe how many cheap theater tricks you've got in your sleeve. Theatrical reasons why we love you. A new theater. Now whose idea was that? But you did it. You pulled it out of your hat. Steve, Tim, and Mal, you're a three-headed pal to lyricist guys and songwriter gals. Dramaturgical reasons why we love you. Tim's enthusiastic, Mal's a theater fanatic. They're a hot couple of guys, both incredibly wise and true. Adding up the trio with Elon and Rio, Steve's your local man. His visionary plan made us all his fans. The man's pure can-do. Regional theater is often hit or miss, but here in Weston, it's always perfect bliss. Mal, Steve, and Tim, that's a fine synonym for tackling theater with vigor and vim. Dramatical reasons why we love you.
tonight together has been really a challenge, because how can you possibly, you can't encapsulate more than 30 years into one evening. All of that work, all of those shows, all of the accomplishments. So I think we've all been feeling a little daunted by the enormity of that task, but what we decided is there's no way to do the whole thing. We'll just do some precious moments, and even more of a challenge. Rather than try to get 30 years into a whole evening, we are going to try to get 30 years into 3 minutes, because for each guy, we're going to do a little mini medley during the evening. And to make it even more challenging, and with the rule of 3, we did it in 3 rehearsals. So, just so you know. Thank you all for being here. There's so much love in this room, backstage, on stage, in the audience. I hope you guys know that we don't feel this way, all of us, we don't feel this way about everybody we've ever worked for. You guys are special. Weston is special. And so tonight, I hope you know that even though there's hundreds of people here tonight, you guys have changed the lives of thousands of artists. We all are so grateful. And so please accept our poor little efforts here to just, I know you guys would rather not be in the spotlight, but I think this evening is more about us needing to tell you more than you needing to hear it. Do you guys agree? So with these mini medleys, you know, it's sort of like the cabaret's chance to finally get on the main stage, you know? And so the first medley tonight is going to be for Mal. And, you know, Mal, again, we can't get it all into 3 minutes, but he's been the youngster of the group, and he started in 1976, a couple of years after the other two. His first show here was 1776, he was on stage with Tim, and right after that, all 3 of them were on stage for what, as best as they can remember, is the only time all 3 of them appeared on this main stage together, which was Camelot. With Steve as Arthur, and Tim as Merlin, and Mal as Pellinor. Isn't that all very fitting? Mal has graced the stage many times, though, and everybody remembers his Tevye. And of course, as a designer and as a director, I'll never forget loving being in his She Loves Me and his Ragtime and his Music Man. But more than just all of his work on our stages, what Mal is to many of us is sort of the social glue. I like to sort of refer to him privately as Uncle Mal, even though we don't have that much of an age difference. And I'd like to share a little personal story about Mally since his medley is coming up. After my first season at Weston, I moved to Chicago because I met some Chicago people here. They encouraged me to do that, especially Mal. And there I was in a strange city, and I'd left everybody I knew behind except a few Westonites, and they really became my de facto family. I didn't grow up in a family that really did a lot of celebrations of birthdays and holidays, but for the first time in my life, in my 20s, every birthday, every holiday, we were all together, often at Mal's apartment with him at the head of the table. And I began to really enjoy a sense of family that I'd never had in my whole life. And that's due to Mal. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Whether it's at the barbecues or the corn roasts or just even on the porch of the farmhouse late at night years ago, or doing body shots in the Lloyd Barn. I mean, we've done some things. But Mally was always there making us feel like Weston was so much more than just the work, and that we really were and are a family. I'm so grateful, Mal. And Uncle Mal. And, you know, he also, when I was there alone in Chicago, the few of us Westonites would go out to dinner, and Mal was always there picking up the check. We were all starving artists in our 20s. And now, I'm older, and I've been an artistic director, and a director, and a producer, and I'm the one taking out my credit card. And Mally, every single time I do it, I think of you. Thank you for teaching me how to be a leader and how to create a sense of family. And now, Mal's Medley, or Malady.
Yesterday is gone.
See the pretty countryside. Merrily we roll along, bursting with dreams. Traveling's the fun, flashing by the countryside. Everybody merrily, catching their dreams. Rolling along, rolling along.
Hey! Isn't that Malcolm Ewing, the producing director of the Weston Playhouse?
We love him, not to our amazement.
He's lovely, so of course we love him.
We love him. What's the way to show it?
A medley, hope that we blow it.
Yesterday a coma bar.
Now today it's fun, hope, and tomorrow.
If I were a rich man, diddle-deedle, 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 diddle. All day long, I'm bitty-bitty bum. If I were a wealthy man. Why am I always punned? I'm at the Actors Fund. Work Union Council, I keep Steppenwolf afloat. You think I'd be aglow to let producer go and cabaret skits where I commune with a goat. I live next door. This isn't all she wrote.
In 1902, Malcolm Ewan and Tim Thorpe bought a house across from the road in West Andover, Vermont, and conceived for some years after that the Playhouse's days would be warm and fair. His smile is so inviting, they call him now, nothing to fear. La 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 la, the grapes of wrath exciting. You tap and tail, offer you beer. La 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 la, and when he gives direction that he discovers is dumb, he'll make a face and the laugh does the space and the people call him Malcolm.
The people call him Harlow.
Evening. Gotta tune up. I bet you never thought you'd see Harlow on the main stage. 30 years and I made it, baby.
marked the 13th time that Susan Hafner and I have played opposite each other on the Weston stage.
It's a little-known fact that in Vermont, if you play husband and wife on stage together more than 10 times, you know where I'm going, it automatically becomes a common law marriage.
So please send gifts to us. Care of the Weston Playhouse Theater Company, 703 Main Street, Weston, Vermont, 05161.
We are registered at the Vermont Country Store, Northshire Bookstore, and Clark's IGA.
We just had a small ceremony downstairs in the green room, but now we'd like to share our first dance with you.
Thanks for the memory of warm-ups on the green, beats in every scene, and Jack Straw at the piano singing songs slightly obscene. How lovely it was.
Thanks for the memory of Tim in the cabaret, knowing not quite what to say. Little Greasy, Spider-Man, and Groucho Marx Oy vey. How funny it was.
Sometimes we laughed over dropped lines, and other times silently wept.
Then there were days in rehearsal when all of the three guys just slept.
Mostly Tim. Thanks for the memory of Malcolm's red tech hat.
Stedler getting and Tim's extensive detailed history of musical theater chats.
How insightful it was.
Thanks for the memory of Malcolm playing bass
A leaky regatta race.
and Stedler at the marketplace shoving donuts in his... How hungry he was. But seriously, thanks for the memories of summers in the hills where time seems to stand still. We lived a lot, we learned a lot, our creative wells are filled. We love you so much.
My name is Margot Seibert. This is my 4th time back at Weston for Pregnancy Pact here back in the day. We have a fan. Next to normal, and then today. And this past winter, this was my first Vermont winter, working on the new musical award, Borderline. I lasted, what, three days, I think I lasted in Vermont in the winter. And now for Doll's House Part 2. And I am so thankful to be back. And I have to just say, it's because of the community. Where are you guys? Oh, there you are. Okay. Sorry, I see it. The community that you've built here, it's such a safe place. It's such a safe place for the cultivation of new work. It's such a safe place for the revival of work. And living in the city, as many of us have escaped, you need to fill up, you need to feel safe, you need to remember why you're doing what you're doing, and that's what we get to do here. So I am so appreciative, and this is a little celebration of your journey to the past. Hit it.
Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back now that we're here. People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear, or how the world can seem so vast on this journey to the past. Somewhere down this road, I know someone's waiting. Years of dreams just can't be wrong. Arms will open wide, I'll be safe and wanted. Finally home where I belong. Well, starting now, I'm learning fast on this journey to the past. Home, love, family. There was once a time I must have had them too. Home, love, family. I will never be complete until I find you. One step at a time, one hope, then another. Who knows where this road may go? Back to who I was, on to find my future. Things my heart still needs to know. Yes, let this be a sign. Let this road be mine. Let it lead me to my past. Let it bring me
It's me again. Do you know what that means? Another medley. You can't put one over on you. Our next medley is for Tim. And, Tim is usually known as the scholar of the group, the college professor. I heard he once gave the first rehearsal of Company, once gave a 2.5-hour academic lecture on the meaning of the show in the history of musical theater canon. And I'm sure people got a lot out of it. Tim's first year here was 1973, same as Steve. I bet a lot of you don't know, it was news to me, that Mal and Tim's dads were classmates together at Amherst. So this is a connection that goes back an additional generation. So of course they went to Amherst, and Tim came out to Weston with Walter, and a couple years later, Mal did. Tim is known for doing these really big, giant musicals on the stage. I loved being in his Carousel, and of course he's got West Side Story and all these wonderful big plays, musicals especially. He's an expert. And also, of course, his connection to the young company, his commitment to teaching the next generation. I mean, as a professor, that's really comes naturally to him. It's really part of his sort of artist mission, and he's really good at it. So we can thank Tim for the Yoko and the children's plays. Yes. Years ago, Tim used to do the books, and he used to refer to him as the company bean count, to himself as the company bean counter. And so he was always, very frugal, and, Weston is a very lean machine. I don't know if you know, but just about every dime goes on the stage, and, and that's probably as it should be, but it's not like there's a lot of extra beans. Tim, do you remember when the hemp rope rotted for that giant electric, and all the lights came crashing down and broke? Luckily, nobody was on the stage. And Tim walked in and said, "Money is no object." And that was a surprise, but you knew it was serious. You knew it was serious. I'm so grateful to Tim because he's my cabaret mentor, my cabaret hero, and to many of us. And I've spent so many hours sweating in the attic of his garage, unair-conditioned garage, where he used to have he probably still does, his library of sheet music. Back before the internet, we would be searching for what to put in the next cabaret, sometimes the day before the cabaret. It reminds me of this whole event, actually. So let's sit back and enjoy the medley that is Tim.
To
could have a Jersey bus. We'll be there somehow. True, you might flee to Canada with Trudeau and Manada. We'll still follow now.
I couldn't get away from you, even if you told me to.
So go on and try, just try, and you're gonna see how you're gonna not at all. I forgot to use my
Get the
rope.
rope. All right.
Get away from me.
Oh, yes. I just have a couple things I'd like to say. I'm gonna take Hi. Hi, Tim. How are you? Yeah, this wasn't planned. But I just wanted to say a few words and thank you for all the pizza, number one. And thank you for 30 years ago, about this time in the summer, Tim came over to Manchester. I might get emotional. I was trying not to, but it's that show, Fun Home. It's got my emotions working. You came over to Manchester, Vermont, and saw a production of The Fantastics that I was doing. And that turned into a bit of a waiting game, but pretty darn quickly, this became my artistic home. And it's all because of you, Tim, taking a chance and coming over when you probably didn't have time to see the show. So thank you for the pizza, for the 60-second meetings, which I now take into my adult professional life as a manager myself, super efficient. And thank you for your huge heart. Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you, but I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. But I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for
right along. It is so nice of all of you to come and celebrate my three sons. I've only been working in Weston since, and if I regaled you with stories of things we've seen, done, smelled, and drunk, and heard, and everything, we'd be here till next Monday. So this is the part of the evening for the proverbial sing-along. Oh no. So I'm going to teach you a song about getting older, written by, and I think some of you might know the folk tune composer, Pete Seeger. So we're going back a little bit, but I am going to teach you, oh thank you for the house lights, now I can see all of you, and those of you who don't sing. Okay, here we go. It's very easy, just 4 simple lines. I'll sing a line and you just repeat, and then I'll sing a couple of verses, but after I teach it to you, we're just going to go right into it. I'll sing it right away, and I have a couple of verses that I will share with you. Okay, how do I know my youth is all spent? How do I know my youth is all spent? That's good. My get up and go has got up and went. My get up and go has got up and went. In spite of it all, I'm eager to grin. In spite of it all, I'm eager to grin. When I think of the places my get-up has been. When I think of the places my get-up has been. You know it, here we go. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get-up and go has come and went. In spite of it all, I'm eager to grin. When I think of the places my get-up has been. We're gonna get louder next time. Here we go. Old age is golden, so I've heard said. But somehow I wonder when I crawl into bed, with my ears in a drawer, my teeth in a cup, my eyes on a table until I wake up. As sleep dims my vision, I say to myself, is there anything else I should lay on the shelf? But donations are boring and business is vexed. I'll still stick around to see what happens next. Here we go. How do I know my youth is all spent? My get-up and go has got up and went. In spite of it all, I'm eager to grin. When I think of the places my get-up has been. Go on next time. When I was young, my slippers were red. I could kick up my heels right over my head. When I was older, my slippers were blue. Still I could dance the whole night through. Here we go. Now that I'm older, my slippers are black. I can hop to the store and I pop my way back. But never you laugh, I don't mind at all, 'cause I'd rather be huffing than not bump at all. Oh, how do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go has got up and went. In spite of it all, I'm eager to grin. When I think of the places I get up and went. Now, just one more short verse. I get up each morning, then I dust off my wits. I open the paper and I read the obits. If I'm not there, I know I'm not dead. So I eat a good breakfast and go back to bed. Oh, how do I know my youth is all spent? My get up and go has got up and went. In spite of it all, I'm eager to grin. When I think of the places my get up has been.
Hi, I'm Jenny Server. There's obviously an older crowd. Okay. And this is my beloved husband, Marcus Neville. Don't encourage him. Stars shining bright above you. Night
Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me.
Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me while I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me.
Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear, just saying this.
Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you.
But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. I met the three guys when I was 18, 20 years ago. Mel, I met you first, 1980, Kirby Theater, Amherst College. My first big musical. It was Tech Night. I turned to do a big exit upstage and put my right hand and my left foot through Mal's brand new, proscenium-sized, black, seamless scrim. He didn't get mad. He's been my Uncle Mal since then. Tim, I've had a million memorable moments on this stage, but one of my very favorite, 1985, Gypsy. I played Rose. You played my father. If I give you the cue, will you give me the line? And all that I need is 88 bucks, Papa.
You need more than that, Rose.
That's so close.
It's really close. Steve, I think I have the distinct honor of being the last person to appear on stage with you. 1983, they're playing our song, and you hated every second of it. And permanently retired from acting. But you were absolutely adorable. Marcus and I love you, and we wish the three of you all beautiful dreams ahead. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear, just saying this.
Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you.
But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Dream a little dream of me.
Steve started, as I said before, at the Weston Playhouse in 1973, same summer as Tim. And we already talked about him playing Arthur in Camelot. And Jenny just talked about his retirement from the stage after they were playing our song. But he was pressed into service at least one other time after that, right, Steve? Closing night of I Do, I Do. The guy playing the lead guy, his wife went into labor. He skedaddled, and Steve went on book. The guy, Falco, the guy who originally played it, was this tiny person and had a tiny little top hat that fit him perfectly. But on Steve, it looked like a little toy hat. He didn't know the dances, so he made them up. Everybody loved it. George Howe was in the pit. I know he had a good time that night. Steve, it's been a long time. I'm surprised you haven't had to do that since, but I'm sorry I missed it. That was just a couple years before I got here. Steve is, everybody knows, the full-time resident of the three guys, the one who is charged with executing most of the vision of the trio, hardest working man in show business. And so there's so many things that come under Steve's purview, things that he's made work. I mean, especially the New Works program that, Steve himself and all three guys have premiered many new works on our stages, both in readings and full productions. And of course, the Walker Farm. What an achievement, you guys, right? A legacy to leave all of us and the next generation of Weston and the next executive artistic director. People still talk about Steve's Death of a Salesman as being, yes, right? And he's always been very serious, a perfectionist with really great attention to detail. And we make fun of him for it, for having the actors beat out their scripts, and do all that work. But the truth is, we all know that although Steve might not ever be fully satisfied, because perfectionists never are, that attention to detail is what makes his work so beautiful and what makes those plays live on stage. Of course, he went maybe just a little bit too far with Lips Together, Teeth Apart, where he wanted to do like the Broadway play did and cook an entire meal on stage. So maybe that one went one step too far. But thank you, Steve, for all that attention to detail, for teaching us all to be assiduous and attentive ourselves, and that the devil's in the details, but so are the angels. I really loved being in Steve's Into the Woods and Candide and Sweeney Todd. And we're going to highlight a couple of his other shows in his medley. So here it is, Steve, the medley.
Deep in the land, fair as you could believe, there is a producer, his name is Steve. Listen to the tale of this man you will meet, with a script that's named every single beat.
Now Steve is a reasoning man. He knew what he wanted and he had a plan. Turn a summer stock to a regional house. He'll ask you for money, then he'll ask your spouse.
So Steve moved into town year round, toiled away to make this place renowned. Now the time has come, Steve will walk away.
Even though we wish he was here to stay,
we will miss his work ethic and his charm. Proud to know he left us with Walker Farm.
Hey, isn't that Steve Steller, the producing director of the Weston Playhouse?
I wish it's not for me, it's for my playhouse in the woods. Grant, please, to bring my poor flooded playhouse in the woods. Just another grant, please.
He is Steve, and it's true that he's always working.
He is Steve, there is no duty he is shirking.
I believe he'll achieve every daily slog.
But be sure that I'll bring my dog.
Why must you leave us, Bill? Oh, you beautiful Steve.
There is it Steve disappears to at night after the upstairs play. Not to the cabin, not in the cabin.
This past evening, you need something light. Where's Steve's secret hideaway? Not in the cabaret, old chum. He's far from the cabaret.
He won't play cows, he won't do cheese, he won't make puns, he won't do names.
You won't see him from your table.
Don't do that.
You eat, you laugh, you cry, you got real sick, but now you're better. You asked for lots of dough, you raised some cash, you built a farm theater. You don't like cabaret, that's why I'm here, to stick it to you. But more, much more than this, you did it your way. I dressed up tonight. It's real silk. I would just like to get serious for one moment. As the great American and
Artistic director.
artistic director that you have been. Do you know how an Italian man pulls up his socks? I'm going to show you. People pay $50 to be here tonight, so I might as well give them their money's worth. Now it's my turn to get a little more serious. In 1986, you, Steve, were one of my teachers at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center's National Theater Institute. The following year, you invited me to be a member of the Weston Playhouse Theater Company, and my life has been forever changed. You and Tim and Mel gave me the opportunity to play roles that I probably never would have been asked to play anywhere else. You did that because you believed in me, and you believed in my talent, and you were committed to creating a versatile ensemble of actors. I met my dear friend Francis Limoncelli here, who introduced me to my wife Charma. Now, we call Weston home. So it all circles back to you, Steve. I'm grateful, and I love you.
Together underneath the starry sky.
was gazing at the views, his head upon your shoes. It's times like this a girl could use a dog. They're three really smart guys with unusual flares. Knowing this year they're leaving us, I put glue on their chairs. They were caught unawares. Look, it's just that I cares. Yeah, I know, I'm a cheater. Better stop and take stock while they're sitting. They're stuck in the seats of the theater. Well, now that I have a captive audience, I just want to say a few words about the three guys and our community. This community has been there for the Weston Playhouse Theater Company through thick and thin, through floods and fires, and through problems and disasters, great and small. And when the three guys took the reins back in 1988, they rededicated this company to the community and have tried to give back wherever possible. And now, the proceeds from tonight's benefit, all of the generosity that you poured out for tonight, go back into the education and outreach programs that the three guys have meticulously built over the last 3 decades. Those include discounts for students and for Vermonters, and education programs from preschoolers all the way up through adulthood. And I just wanted to let all of you know and to thank you, because your generosity is ensuring that our ties to the community remain strong well into the future. Now, Tim and Steve, you've inspired countless artists and so many in our community. And look, you've made such a huge family. And family sticks like glue. So we know that this is what the three guys envisioned. Oh, how could they know when they came long ago that we'd flood and we'd float, and through thin and through thick, we would all find our light and our love, and we'd be Vermont strong. We say thank you tonight, and you know that you'll always belong. So you now pass the buck, look and look, but you'll always be stuck in the seats of the playhouse.
What am I doing out here again? We've had 3 guys, 3 medleys. George, what am I doing out here?
We needed more medleys, right?
Oh, right!
No, we've said the words thank you many times, but we haven't sung it enough. Shall we?
Let's do
Let's do some funk.
All
Shall we
right.
funk it? Here we go. 6, 7.
Thank you for the music, 30 years long.
All the Weston people sing a thank you song.
Steve looks so happy. Malcolm starts to cry.
to death. You made me feel like you never felt. Someone so good I had to holler for help.
You didn't have to cast me like you did, but you did.
Yes, you did. And I thank you.
You didn't have to hire me, but you did. What you did.
Yes, you did. And I thank you.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will feel this way. My hat is off. Won't you stand up and take a bow? And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, well, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and a card attached would say,
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You're the wind beneath my
Malcolm, please come again. Do come again, Malcolm.
I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. Sorry. If I tell a joke, you probably heard it before. Sorry. But I have three fellas, a wonderful thing. 'Cause everyone loves them and I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say, thank you for the music, the songs we're singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or dance or read? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Malcolm and Tim were both actors before they could talk. I heard that about you. You know, and Steve played the piano and sang long before he could walk. Your brother told me that about you. But I've often wondered, where did it all start? Found out that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can. Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. here, I would merely like to mention, if I may, that our unanimous attitude is one of lasting gratitude for what you guys have done for us today. And therefore, we would simply like to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for 30 years of winter amongst the greenery. You made each summer great since 1988. Through sunny days and floods and soggy scenery. And if I had a flask, I'd take my flask down to add a sort of final victory touch. But since I left my flask at home, I'll simply have to say thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Every way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for casting me when nobody else would hire me. You put up with my moods and stinky attitudes. I thought that any man in you would fire me. And if I had a cow, I'd raise an udder and anoint you with an utterly buttered touch. But since I left my heifer at home, I'll simply have to say thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much.
Very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for everything you're doing for the community. No match I ever knew, as much as the three of you. You opened many doors for opportunity. And if I sing a pitch, I sing a love song to tell you how I feel and stuff and such. But since I left my talent at home, I simply have to say thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If we weep because we're feeling sentimentally, and though it's not goodbye, we cannot help but cry. You owe us so much to you, and incidentally, let's give a cheer for dear old Walter Bowden for trusting you to have the Midas touch. But since old Walters, we'll simply have to say thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See my 30 years since I did a win for me. Each place to go and play and act for cabaret. The memories are glowing in the pit for me. Oh, well, the scene and scene, we all adore you. And though we may not say it all too much, you make us feel like home. So what can we say? Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very, very, very much.
I swear there are no more medleys. I'm out here so that we can, apparently our projector decided that going overtime was not in its contract, and it turned itself off, so while we fix it, I just thought we'd have a little chat. How is everybody? Pretty good? Probably a few of you need to use the bathroom at this point, and this would be a good time. Georgie, what do you want to do? You want to sing? Oh, it's Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
You want to sing a song? I'm trying to think of some more stories. I'm sure we have stories in the audience. We're good. Well, those stories will never be told. And now someone very special.
My name is Susanna Gillard. I'm the incoming executive artistic director. Normally when someone comes in to fill a role, they have one pair of shoes to fill. I have
6 very large shoes to fill. I'm so excited about everything that's going to happen in the future, but I also just want to make sure that we're all very clear, as everyone has talked about tonight, about what an incredible home for artists and audiences the 3 guys have made. And it's so special, and I just want to make sure that we're all, we could feel the love in this room for this incredible home for art and audiences. And thank you all, and thanks you 3 for making it. Thank you.
Foolishness
Where has the time gone to? Haven't done half the things we want to. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time.
This day is just a token. Too many words are still unspoken. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time.
Just when the fun is starting, comes the time for parting. But let's be glad for what we have and what's to come. There's so much more embracing still to be done, but time is racing. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Didn't get half my wishes, never have seen you do the dishes. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time.
Can't satisfy my craving. Never have watched you while you're shaving. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Just when the fun's beginning, comes the final inning.
Haven't had time to wake up, seeing you there without your makeup. Oh well, we'll catch up some
Just
other
when the
time.
fun is
this summer, but then we had a visit from your president, you see. We needed a little bit fresh Vermont air. Of course, the palace has to be completely detoxed, you know.
Who are you? I'm your sidekick, Your Majesty.
Oh, you're a straight man. It must be so lonely for you in a theatre community. Shine that torch in my face the entire night.
It's a spotlight, Your Majesty.
Oh, well, in that case, Bevel. Do you think they've noticed that we have a bit of a moustache?
No, not at all, Groucho. I mean, Frida Kahlo. Kangaroo. Your Majesty.
It's very really trying for an older woman, you know. Your hair no longer grows when you want it to, and it grows when you don't want it to. And then there's the question, does one bleach or does one wax? Does one wax or does one bleach? Why, isn't it?
We brought the royal lawnmower, Your Majesty. Yes.
So we get him a mustache ride. Ooh. Someone knows what that means. Listen. Oh, my goodness. You know, I haven't noticed this place. It's magnificent. We're always stuck in that rancid little room downstairs. And why was I never told of this?
Well, that's because you have to be in a play, Your Majesty.
Oh, they let you be in a play up here?
Oh, many times, Your Majesty.
Oh, there's no account for taste. What is that little twitch you keep doing?
Oh, it's sort of a physicalization of a rim shot.
Oh, a rim shot. You know, Philip once asked us for a rim shot. He seemed to think it was something quite different. Now, why'd you bring us here?
To honor the gods.
Oh, yes, they must be knighted.
Yes.
They are a national treasure, or at least a Vermont treasure. Sort of on a par with very old cheese. What? Okay, I cut some of this. Why are they knighted already? Doesn't your bone spur bloviated with that sort of thing?
Oh, this is America. We don't believe in knights.
Oh, how sad.
But we do believe in nightlife.
Nightlife. I like to walk in. In the name of Thespis and Terpsichore, in the name of Thalia and Melpomene, by the power invested in me by God Almighty, the spirit of Sam... The spirit of Sam Lloyd, and the dreams of every actor who arose at 5 a.m. to spill her guts at an open call and try to make her shift by noon. By all that is precious and holy in art. And because I'm the fucking queen. I love you, Sir Steve, Sir Tim, and Sir Malcolm. God bless you and all who sail in you. At the time of my life.
I have the time of my life.
Never felt this way before. I swear that that's true. And I owe it all to you. Nancy, Martin, Aaron, Leon, our fabulous musical director, Michael Hicks.